what's going on social media. You know, many people that follow me already know that I had a pretty crazy interaction with police officers last week. And I just wanted to kind of recap the story for those that don't know, and then just kind of get a conversation started about, you know, what's going on in America. Because, you know, this place is getting scary to me, man. Well, I'll take that back. It's been scary, and there's been very little progress. So just want to talk about what we can do to make it better, or what our plan should be if it's not going to get better. So recently I'm driving to Atlanta. I just recently opened a gym in Atlanta, so I have two gyms. I have my Savannah location and I have an Atlanta location. I left about 4:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning because I had to teach a class at my Atlanta gym at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. So I'm driving, I have my cruise control set, doing everything I'm supposed to do. You know, I don't like tickets anymore because I don't want to spend my money on a traffic violation. So I have my cruise control set, doing everything I'm supposed to do. Well, I'm right outside of McDonough, and I pass a police officer in the median. And you know, I know I'm doing everything right, so I'm not too stressed out about it. I pass him, you know, I'm doing the speed limit, and I look back and I see that he's pulled out. So he pulls out, he gets right behind me, he's riding my bumper. And again, I know he's behind me, I saw him pull out, so my hands are at 2 and 12. I'm driving like a saint, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. He pulls up beside me, he's staring at me through the window, he looks at me for a second, pulls back behind me, follows me for another couple miles, and finally turns his lights on. So he comes up to the car, and I ask him, I'm like, "Officer, I know I was doing everything right, I know I wasn't speeding, may I ask you why you pulled me over?" And he claims that I was failing to maintain lanes, that I was swerving. So I wasn't swerving. I know for a fact that I was driving like Miss Daisy was in the back seat. I was driving like a saint. But nonetheless, he asked for my license and registration. I give him my license and registration. He goes back and he runs everything. When he comes back, he says, "Well, you know, I'm just going to give you a warning. We'll get you out of here. If you'll hop out of the car, we'll go ahead and write you a warning." You know, so I thought that was strange. I know legally I'm not obligated to hop out of the car, but I also know that if I didn't, I would probably end up, you know, yanked out of the car, arrested for obstruction, and it would have been a real bad day for me. What we don't realize is police officers are the most powerful people in the world during a traffic stop. They have all the rights in the world to take your life, and all they have to do is say they felt threatened. So I'm following instructions. I get out of the car, I know I've done nothing wrong, and he starts writing the warning. He's taking his time. All right. As he's taking his time, he asks me, do I mind if he searches my car? I say, no, I don't consent to searches. I have places to be. I'm trying to get out of here. I have to teach a class. I don't consent to searches. I never consent to searches. If you know me, you know I'm the most boring guy on the planet. I don't do drugs. I don't carry drugs. I don't have drugs. I don't even hang out with people that do drugs. Like, I'm never in the place where it happens. So my car is good to go. But I knew he had already decided to search me. So he says, okay. He's taking his time. About 15 minutes later, he's still writing the citation, and another cop car pulls up. An officer jumps out with the dog, goes straight up to my car, and has the dog start sniffing my car. Now, the dog, from what I understand from talking to my law enforcement buddies, dogs signal drugs by either sitting, barking, or scratching, or laying down, okay? Now, this dog did none of those. He walked around my car, did not signal, did not do anything. Till finally, the officer walks up to the back of my car, taps the back of my car, the dog jumps up on the side of the car, and he claims that was a signal. He smells narcotics. They're going to search my car. That's probable cause. So I'm sitting back, enjoying the show, because I fully understand that they're going to do what they want to do. I've had this happen throughout my life. So they search my car. They're dumping my bags out. They dump a backpack out. They pull everything out of my glove box. They're just rummaging through my entire car. Now in the back seat, I have a medical bag that had IVs in it from a recent fight. Now we have a medic on staff that gives our fighters IVs, because UFC is the only place we can't have an IV, so we still give IVs to our fighters. He saw that and just thought he had hit pay dirt. By that time, he realized it was IV and moved on. Goes to my trunk, dumps out all my bags. So I have all my training gear back there. I have, a bag full of clothes that I use for the week in Atlanta while I'm teaching there. And he just dumps everything out. He doesn't care about my stuff very much. Doesn't find anything. Looks disturbed. Hands me my warning and my license, and he held my license the entire time. Hand me my warning and license. Doesn't say anything. Drives off. So I was profiled. I was illegally stopped for fabricated reasons. I was searched for fabricated reasons, because I know they didn't smell drugs, because I don't do drugs. I'm in my wife's car. We're boring, right? All this because I'm a black person with dreads, driving to Atlanta at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they just knew I was doing something wrong, right? Now, I just finished my master's in criminal justice and pre-law. I've done a year of law school. I understand that everything he did was wrong. But what could I do, all right? What could I do in this America that allows an officer the power to shoot somebody because he thought he was reaching for a weapon, all right? That allows an officer to roll up on a 12-year-old kid and shoot him before announcing himself because he's in the park playing with the toy gun. What could I do in this America? Even though I know he was breaking the law. I know he created the circumstances to be able to tear my car apart and harass me and just completely violate my constitutional rights. So what I ask today is what can we do? What can be done? All right? Is it a good thing that these officers sit on the side of the road, they wait for brown people to drive by, and they come up with a reason to pull them over, and they shake them down, and when they find nothing, they leave. It's insane to me. All right, so I'm gonna file a complaint. I don't know how much that'll do. I'm definitely gonna file a complaint. I'm gonna request the footage so I can prove that I was not swerving, that I was not speeding, that I was not doing anything that I shouldn't be doing, to give them probable cause to search me. But is this how a citizen in a free society should be treated? Tell me, discuss, let me know what you think.